Now, the brain actually is very tasty if you season it correctly, according to Hannibal Lecter. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Franklin and Douglas, where we talk about current events and give you bad advice. I'm Franklin, and with me, as always, is my buddy Douglas. Double D, how's it going?
It's going great, buddy.
I'm glad to hear it.
Life is good. The birds aren't chirping. It snowed again, but things are happening.
Good, good.
So how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I can't complain. Sunny California is
Oh,
doing a lot better than Ohio. We topped at 74 degrees yesterday.
oh
It was
my.
tank top weather.
Heat
Yes, it was
wave.
beautiful. Windows were down, sunroof is open, just California girls.
Oh no.
So yeah, no, it was a good week. It hasn't been too eventful, quiet, just working and cleaning up, doing the regular stuff, but nothing too exciting this week.
Okay.
Um, how about you? How's your week going?
Well, I had a little girls' night out this week. We did a little, those little paint and sip kind of events where like you go with your best girls and paint something while drinking wine or beer.
Okay, okay. And
So we did
and how
that. We
was
painted
that?
little planters. I had a little gay turtle. I'll post a picture of him, but
Why
uh
does the turtle have to be gay? Why can't he just be a turtle?
because you got to represent the colors.
Look, you're in Donnie's world now. Okay, there is no, you know, extras. All right,
Speaking of
just keep that.
Donnie's World, I did participate in no shopping on Friday as well,
Of
which was
course,
fantastic. I I
yes, it
mean, we're
was.
recording this on Saturday morning, so I am
Hmm.
interested to see like what the results if companies are even going to like put anything out, but just to see
Of
like
course, they
how
won't.
it affected.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably won't, but, yeah, same here. I didn't even go to work. I let them know in advance, "Not coming in today. Not doing anything but sitting in the dark, drinking water for the whole entire day." So, yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so paint and sip, you went
Mhm.
with the girly girls, that's good. I think I did see a couple of pictures of those, that's great. Glad
Yes.
you
My
had a good
sister-in-law
time.
is trying to hook me up with a paint instructor, but I had to
Oh
like
my god.
break it to her that he has a boyfriend already.
Eesh, my
So she's
goodness.
listening. She just needs to get off my case.
Oh, good lord. Okay. So it was more than a paint and sip, huh?
No, no, it was a good time.
Good, good.
So what do you got for us this week?
Well, I got a couple of interesting topics for you,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
So, let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is something near and dear to my heart, cannibalism.
Eat the rude.
Exactly. So, Tyree Smith is known as the Bridgeport Cannibal Killer. I know. Let's see, in 2013, that Tyree was found not guilty by reason of insanity in relation to a 2012 killing of Angel Gonzalez, whose body was discovered after he was hacked to death in a vacant apartment in Bridgeport. The outlet reported that Smith's cousin, terrified that Smith admitted to eating one of Gonzalez's eyeballs and part of his brain.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the brain actually is very tasty if you season it correctly, according to Hannibal Lecter. Okay. Well, fast forward to February 22nd of this year, and it looks like Mr. Smith, who resides in Connecticut Valley Hospital in Middleton, was granted a conditional release after a review hearing regarding his case. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so what that means is he is technically discharged from the hospital, but he must adhere to strict supervision and maintain specific mental health services and requirements.
Like
This is good. This
like
is so good.
making sure he eats 3 meals a day? Is that like one of the requirements? So boy doesn't get hungry for
Making sure he
some
eats 3 eyeballs a day. According to a forensic psychiatrist, he maintained, clinical stability adhere to the medications and continues, excuse me, to engage in group and substance abuse treatment. He also denied visual hallucinations and desire to harm others or himself. So he's doing good. To quote the doctor at the hospital, he is a joy. He he is considerate and he is considerate and supports the others in the group. Once he was stable, he was really charming and a patient. He had patience and just was really a great support to all patients in the hospital. So he was doing really really good. He was really a great guy.
Those serial killers are usually charming people. Just putting that out there.
Th They really are. They really are. So, obviously, the community and the victim's family, most importantly, have voiced their concerns and simply asked, "How do we know he's not going to do it again?"
Right.
Right? Others have called the move, quote, "outrageous and mind-boggling." This this terrible decision puts public safety in jeopardy, and he is yet another terrible message to send to the CT violent crime victims and their families. Connecticut is CT. This person should never be out. We are dumbfounded by this injustice. In what universe is this okay?
Right. I
S- it's crazy, right? That well, first of all, he was found not guilty by reason of insanity, all right? Now, he's out. He's going to be out on a conditional release. So I guess my question, to you and to our audience, if a person becomes rehabilitated and
oh,
shows significant improvements, should they be allowed back into society? When he is when he's released on his own and just, goes back to the hallucinations, the craving of brain. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. Like the people can get reformed and should be allowed to go back out in society. I mean, it, I don't think it's right to jail people. I mean, depending on circumstances. This is one of those though that it makes me a little nervous because I guess it's dependent on like he's doing better because he's taking his medication.
Exactly.
And who is someone going to be standing there like making sure he takes his medication every day? Because he skips one pill and all of a sudden he's got the craving for a little platter of brains. I mean,
Mhm. Right, right.
I
And
don't.
that's what I'm saying is like, the discipline in the hospital, he's under strict kind of schedule where
Mhm.
what he's supposed to do and they put that balance back in his life. But when he doesn't have that 24/7, what happens? What if he decides to say, "Okay, well, I'm better. I don't need this medication." Then what
Right.
happens? So what do you say to the next victim's family if something happens again? Obviously,
Oops,
we don't
I did it
oh my
again.
god. But, yeah, obviously, we don't want that to happen, but,
Right.
we have to give people the opportunity to, improve their
Mhm.
health and life and hopefully be able to, live a normal life without hurting others. But that's kind of scary that, he is being let back out. And obviously, it's been since, what, 2013, so he hasn't even been in there that long.
Right. Because what wasn't it originally like a 6-year sentence? I think it was
Mhm.
that he
Right.
originally was set in for, and like we're way before that.
Way before that. Well, because he's a joy to be around.
Sure, he is. Hannibal Lecter was a
Okay.
joy to talk to.
Oh, he is absolute joy. Okay.
A little fava beans.
His meals were so wonderful. So, yeah, so, it's interesting to see, how they came to that, decision again, and I don't know if the victim's family was able to, talk to, the hospital to say, "Hey, no, we don't want this person out," and what all went into it because, I think that there should be a lot more discussion on this. I mean, this man killed somebody, hacked them to death. Okay, that's also very, scary in itself.
Right.
And then when it proceeded to eat him.
Yeah, and maybe that's the thing that, like, because that seems so shocking, more so which is an odd thing to say, but more so than the murder, the eating part is
Okay,
the shocking.
the eyeball, ooh, and the brain.
Right, yeah, I don't know, and maybe that's what's, like, skewing my judgment on this and thinking, like, maybe this is not the right time to let him loose, and I
Right,
can just imagine what the victim's family is just like, "What the hell? He ate our friend, our family member, and now you're
right.
just gonna let him go free?"
And now he's out. He's out. Yeah, so, yeah, we'll keep you abreast of that and, continue to watch that. Hopefully, nothing further comes of it.
I just
But
wanna
hey,
say that
please,
we have a hard time getting our boys, the Menendez brothers, out, but yet Hannibal Jr.'s
Tyree Smith is out. Hannibal Jr. is out.
right.
Lyle and Erica's like, "You see this? Another one got let out.
You see this bullshit?
You see this? What do we have to do?"
Right.
Yeah, it's kinda crazy. Okay. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit and discuss what I feel is a very interesting topic.
Mm,
Uh, People who don't make a big deal about their birthday.
mm,
Okay. This is something I can totally understand as I am one of those people and have always been someone who just sees it as a regular day. Right.
yep,
I think, Prince said it the best, and I live by these words. You have one birthday, the day you were born. There are no other birthdays after that. So it stops me from counting days, which stops me from counting time, which allows me to look as the same as I did 10 years ago, which I truly believe.
yeah, I mean, he did.
Right? Exactly. So, I love that, that phrase, and I love how you actually think about it. It's the truth, You were only born on one day, and okay, great, you want to celebrate it each year, but for me, it's never been that way. I remember as a kid, my mother always dressing me up in these little birthday gowns and a
Aw,
little tiara and whatnot, and just having birthday parties with my friends and everything. It was fun, but it wasn't like when I think about it, I was like, really don't care. And even now, it's like it's just another day for me. I
yeah.
think after as many years as we have known each other, you still don't know when my birthday is.
We were just talking about that the other day, and I checked my calendar to make sure it was on there.
And what and I still think you have it on the wrong day, but I'm not even gonna worry
It's
about
between 2 to
it.
3 days, so if I say happy birthday through all 3 days, I'm gonna get it.
You're gonna get it but yeah, so that right there is just, how it is. And so, I actually came across an article by, a author, Eliza Hartley, and she states, "I've always been fascinated by people who don't make a big deal about their birthday. You know the type. They don't, drop hints, weeks in advance, they don't expect grand gestures, and they certainly don't count down the days. If anything, they'd rather let it pass quietly. At first, I used to think this meant they just didn't care about celebrating. But over time, I realized something. People like this often have certain unassuming qualities, traits make them surprisingly grounded, self-assured, and even more connected to the people around them. So if you've ever wondered what sets them apart, here are 7 qualities they tend to have in common. So, first is we don't seek validation from others.
Mhm.
We find joy in the little things. We know not everyone will show up. We don't need to be the center of attention.
Mm,
We understand that time doesn't wait. We don't expect people to read our minds, and we celebrate in our own way. And so, reading those and reading that article, I resonated with a lot of that.
right.
And of course, I have a lot of friends who do celebrate. They do the countdown. Oh, it's my birthday month, and woo woo woo. Every single day is a celebration and whatnot. And for me, it's like first of all, I love the month of April because that is my birthday month.
Mhm.
I love April just in general. But
Because it's not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
I've never been that person who was like, "Woo," the countdown and, "Welcome to my birthday month," and everything, and
Right.
the day, I don't work on that day. I do take, special time for myself. I'll do a spa day or just relax or whatnot, but it's never been a big celebration. I don't think, since I've been an adult that I've ever had a party or ever, I know a couple of times I've gone out with some friends, but it's never been something that, one, I care to do. And so I was just wondering, for you, what do you feel? Do you feel that way? I know that, we do stuff on your birthday and everything, but you don't, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back, the times that we did stuff for my birthday really wasn't, like, my planning, or I was just like, "Hey, let's" kinda like you said, just hang out with a couple friends, like, very low key.
Right.
It's funny because you sent me this article, and I'm like, "Oh, this is me too," 'cause I last year, actually, I was like, "I don't wanna celebrate it, like, it's just another day, what have you." Um, what were some of the points here? They know not everyone will show up, so that is kinda like, people that put so much expectation on this, like you said, birthday month, and then once they get the big day, and all of a sudden, they got all these big plans, like, not everyone shows up, not everything goes where you planned, and I think, like, not even having those expectations just makes my life much easier.
Right, right, right. I
Uh,
mean, for us last year, for your we went to Vegas for the Raiders
that's
game,
true. Yeah.
and it was in during the week of, your birthday after, and so, our friend and I got T-shirts made,
Yes.
with your face on it and
Yes.
everything, and I was truly excited about it. I loved it. I mean, I put a lot of work into getting those pictures, and so
They were cute.
and yeah, and your face was just like, "Oh," you know, and me and our other friends were like, "He didn't even acknowledge it." And so a part of me, I was excited about it because I thought it was really a cute thing, and I got a lot of compliments from strangers on the street
You
more than I
did.
did from you. They were like, "That is great," you know? But, it's true is that, but one, I just wanted to make you feel special because it was something that we took time to put in, but another part of me was like, "He's not really gonna care."
No, and, like, I appreciate the gestures, but it's
Mhm.
not something that, like, I want people to go out of their way to do. Like, that you did
Uh-huh.
it, and it was funny because I did not notice at first, and then finally looked over at you
You
guys,
did
I'm like, "What the hell are you wearing?"
you did. I swear it took like 15 minutes for you to even realize that your face was plastered all over.
But, like,
Oh
I
my god.
appreciate those gestures, but at the same time, like, I don't want that to be the expectation, like, I don't want people to feel like, "Oh, it's Dan's birthday, we need to do something." Like, I don't wanna be that
Mhm.
person, you know? If you wanna do it,
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
but,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know.
so say it's like, we don't need to be the center of attention.
Right.
Some people like in the article it says some people thrive on being in the spotlight.
Oh,
The
yeah.
big birthday dinner, the surprise party, the food, all of that, the social media attention. And it's fine and everything, but a lot of us are just like, hey, thanks a lot. That's cool. Appreciate it. But I've never been, I appreciate obviously everyone acknowledging it, but it's like, it's not necessary,
Yeah.
it's not gonna make or break me if you don't.
Right.
You know? And I think, for the saying that, we know that time doesn't wait. For some, birthdays are a reminder of pause and reflection.
Mhm.
She states that for others, they remind that time keeps moving,
Yep.
whether we celebrate it or not. And then, it goes back to the quote from Prince is that if you don't count time, time doesn't move, and you can still remain the way you are if you think about it. And that's just, your mindset. It's not, just because time is moving, you don't necessarily have to acknowledge the fact that, oh my God, I'm another year older.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously like Aaliyah says, age is nothing but a number, right?
Hmm.
And it's how you feel and how you make yourself feel. And obviously, there's some days I wake up and I'm like, damn, I'm 100 years old. I
Yeah.
can feel it in my body, you know?
Right.
but but other days it's like I really I don't trip about it. I know that sometimes, they have to card you at the grocery store if you're buying liquor.
Hmm.
And when I give my ID and the clerk looks at me and I look at him, I'm like, what's wrong? And I honestly, I don't realize that, oh, snap, I'm old, you know? And, and it's that they make it a big thing. They're like, wow, you look great. And it's like, I know, thanks. you know, but, but yeah, I have to think about it's like sometimes you look and it's like I could be your mother, you
Right.
know, these kids and everything. But I don't think about it. Sometimes I really and truly do have to look at my year of my
Hmm.
birthday to realize how old I am because I don't think about it.
I'm the same way. I always forget my age. And
Right.
like you said, like, yeah, think about the year you were born next. I'm like, wait, how old am I turning this year?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think actually my sister-in-law was asking me like how old I was turning and my brother was turning. And like I had to really think about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna be what? And he's gonna be what? Like for
Right.
some reason I just don't
Right.
think about it, you know?
Yeah. So I think it's a great thing. But again, to those that do celebrate and everything, I'm happy for you. It's just not my thing, and I'm glad to see that it's I think for a lot of people that
Mhm.
it's not something that they need to do. So
Yeah.
it was a really eye-opening and great article to read. And so thank you to Eliza Hartley for that. Okay. So, what advice do you have for us out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, always we want to remind our audience that we are not trained professionals and our advice
No, we're
should not
not.
be taken seriously. But what
Never.
qualifications do we have, Franklin?
Well, we survived the Castros 2 for one night without being kidnapped by that man in a van who tried to give us a birthday cake. So, we are qualified to guide you through life's challenges. Hit me with it.
Thankfully, we do not celebrate birthdays, and we were like, no, thank you to the cake.
Thank you, sir. Don't need
Plus, I
it.
don't need everyone in the Castro knowing how old I am. So, today,
Girl.
right. So today we're gonna be pulling our questions from Reddit's advice category, or the Am I the Asshole category.
You are.
Thanks. If you would like us to answer your request for advice, please DM us on our socials or comment. Maybe your question will appear on our next episode. So
Okay.
let's start it off here with an interesting one. So this one is actually from the relationship advice category. And
Ooh.
yeah, so they go on to say, how can I get my boyfriend to stop digging his tunnel? They go,
I'm digging what?
his tunnel.
Okay, keep going. I'm
So,
lost already.
so I know this is a weird question, but my boyfriend likes to spend a lot of his free time digging a tunnel on some property that he inherited. I haven't seen the full extent of it, but last I saw, it was remarkably deep under the surface. He spent roughly a year on it, and it's evident. The front of this thing is deep, wide, well put together. Sounds like the JJ.
Uh,
At, at the front, which is only part that I've seen, he's got cement beams, electric lights, even chairs, and a small table. I haven't gone into it, but it looked like the quality severely dropped as the tunnel went further, mostly becoming open dirt with some wooden beams holding it up. My
mm,
biggest concern is his safety. I'm really worried that he's going to dig too deep and it'll collapse on him or something. I've
mhm.
tried voicing this concern to him, but he just laughs it off and assures me that he'll be fine. Aside from safety concerns, there's also the fact that he doesn't really have a social life because of this thing. Right? I'm pretty much the only person he still talks to outside of his job, and he doesn't go out and do anything anymore. It used to be that he'd occasionally head out and do some digging on the weekends, but now he spends almost all of his free time out there. He still comes home, but he barely spends any time with me, and I know that he isn't doing anything but digging that damn hole in the ground. This can't be good for his mental health, but I don't know how to convince him to stop. He's always really happy when he comes back from digging, which is why I haven't seriously tried to stop him before. But I was talking to a friend about him, and she told me he might be going crazy. Obviously, I don't think he's insane, but I had considered the mental health aspect of this, and I just don't know what to do.
Well, first of all, is he digging a hole to China? Secondly, he's going to be ready for the end of the world because he's going to have that hole, and you're going to look back on it, and you're going to be happy he has that hole. Um, but it's concerning because maybe he's just looking for where it ends. Do you ever think about that though? It's like keep digging, and where does it end? What's going to happen? Do you get to the end of the earth and there's like a beam or some sort of light that comes out? I'd like to know, where is this guy? I want to dig with him and see what's going on.
Oh no.
Where does it go? How far does the hole go? And she better be careful. Maybe he's digging her grave to drop her in
Right?
because she doesn't believe in the digging and in the hole. So it's very interesting. I hope he's not going crazy, but I think that's just his mission. He just wants to dig and see where where he comes out. Is it okay? So is there other houses on the property? Because maybe he's digging a hole to the next door neighbor.
Right. Or is
You
there a
know,
bank nearby? Maybe he's
there's
digging
something
a
he's
tunnel
digging.
into the
Yeah,
safe.
exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of questions. That she needs to go in the hole one day when he's at work and figure out what's going on.
Hmm. I don't know about that.
Digging in the hole. Does he have lights down there? Is he because now all of a sudden, watch, we need to get a follow-up. He's gonna be living in that hole.
I don't like the scenarios that I came up in my head. Like, first of all, I knew you would have went to prepper right away, end of the world prepping. But is this like his hidden body hole? Is this like where he hides all the bodies? Are they all
Yes,
propped up around a dinner table down there? Is
that's why she
she
needs to go down there and check because he could be dropping bodies in there, digging a little corner hole and putting that body in there and just keeps on going. So and where's all the dirt? How does he dig it out and pull all that out? And where
right?
is it going?
Well,
So I got a lot of questions.
did she marry a dwarf? Like, didn't the dwarves like in was it Snow White? Weren't they like digging tunnels and getting diamonds or something?
Oh, bull, oh, bull, oh, bull. No,
Maybe
I
she
don't think
married
they
a
were.
dwarf. Uh
It's their boyfriend. They didn't get married yet.
oh,
She's not gonna
maybe
marry him now.
maybe she's dating a dwarf. My other
Hmm.
concern is like, did he figure out where gas lines and stuff are at? Like, is he going to like hit like a gas
Right,
pipe or
that's what I
like a
said.
natural
It's
pocket,
like,
and all of a sudden he's gonna
mm-hmm.
be passed out down there?
Yeah. So again, it's like, where's the property?
Mhm.
How does he know where he's digging? And what's his ultimate outcome of what does he want to see? What does he want to find? Um, yeah, I got a lot of questions. But he's gonna be ready for the end of the world. That's his panic room, his panic hole. Mm,
Well,
hole.
he can go hide in that hole because I'll just accept my fate. Let the Terminators take me.
So ridiculous.
So moving on to a
Mhm.
scenario that I think you've experienced before, or that you've been
Oh.
part of. So my 22-year-old male, so that's who's writing this,
Mhm.
girlfriend, who's a 20-year-old female, have been hoarding my used condoms. I've been I've been dating a girl, we'll call her Vivian, for about a year and a half now. We go to college together and live separately. We have by all accounts a great relationship and I 100% plan on staying with her after graduation. We don't want kids anytime soon. Any talk of kids has been us playing around. I think that's all the necessary background information. We don't want an unplanned pregnancy, so we use dual protection, birth control, and condoms. And after I
Duel.
finish, I always tie the condom up and throw them in the trash. This week, while Vivian was at practice for her sport, I was looking for some cleaning stuff in her bathroom. In the back corner under her sink, there was a bunch of stuff stacked on top of some rags, and the rags were covering a Tupperware container. And the container was filled with used condoms, seemingly still tied up. I definitely didn't want to open it, And to be honest, I didn't really like looking at it either. So I put everything back and went on with my day. I didn't say a single word about it to her. The cleaning stuff I needed ended up being somewhere else. So I don't think me using it raised any alarms. I really don't know what to do right now. We're honest about everything, almost to a fault, so I feel terrible for not bringing this up to her. Really don't like the idea of asking a friend for advice because my crew isn't the most sensitive bunch. The first thing that popped in my head was that she was trying to artificially inseminate herself. But that doesn't make sense because I see her take her birth control every day. Her roommate is basically never there, so I don't really imagine her being the culprit. This just feels so weird to me and I don't want to mess anything up. What should I do?
First of all, gross. Um, but also she's doing it wrong because now it's spoiled. Aren't you supposed to freeze it? So she should
I
have put
don't
it in
know.
the freezer to keep it. But or maybe she just, maybe she doesn't want to throw it in the trash because, it'll mess up the what is it? The mess up the trash area or whatever for maybe she's putting it in the recycle. I don't know. But
Recycle.
recycle used condoms. But if she was trying to use it to inseminate herself, it's not going to work because the sperm is dead now. It needs to be frozen, refrigerated. She's got to put that away. And yeah, I don't know. That's disgusting. Why is she keeping it in a little tough? That's he should have took a picture. A Tupperware
Oh,
container. Ew, doesn't it smell?
keeps it fresh.
Mm.
I don't.
No, I think it's a little weird, and he should bring it up. He should say something. "Hey, hun, I found this. Do we need to talk?
What if
How
this
many of
is
them?"
like
And
some weird fetish of hers? Like, what is she
ooh,
like afterwards? Like when he's gone, she's like doing something else with it.
like what?
I don't know.
Using it, using it as
Oh,
lotion?
facial moisturizer. Yeah, there's a lot of protein in that stuff, isn't there?
Oh God, disgusting.
What was that movie with Cameron Diaz? Like use it as like hair gel?
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, whatever. Use it as like hair
Oh,
gel.
oh yeah, her hair was all sticking up to the
Something
top there.
about Mary? Is that it? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think that's what it was. Yeah, Cameron Diaz.
Listen, I'm from the Midwest. We pronounce things differently.
Whatever.
I
Cameron
think she
Diaz.
could also be creating a clone army of him or planning on creating a clone army of him. Like
Oh,
maybe,
yeah, maybe she needs a certain amount, and
yeah.
then she'll take it to, to the research center, and all of a sudden, he's gonna be walking down the street and sees himself.
Yep. She's getting ready for the end of the world and making her army of Steves.
That is kind of weird.
I
I
mean,
don't
you
know.
think?
That is a little weird. Yeah.
I mean, I
Hopefully, he
agree.
figures it out before it's too late.
Yeah, I think you should probably sit her down and have a little conversation about her Tupperware sperm container, or at least label it.
Okay. I know. I wonder if she has dates. Maybe she's just trying to, you know, see, is one more full than the other? Is it, what happened on this day, Steve? How come I only see like two droplets?
Who were you out
This
with
one you're
earlier that day?
Yeah, this one is all nice and full, looks like a big old water balloon.
Uh,
This one is just a little droplet. What's going on? Maybe she is. She's just checking him so she can bring him out and be like, "Hey, so, what did I do differently this day that you filled it up?"
oh, man. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Well, on that note,
that's a wrap.
I think that's a tied up condom on this episode.
That's good stuff. Well, thank you very much for all that, and remember that, may your decisions be as questionable as ours.
Oh,
Man, that's good stuff. All
well,
right, well, thank you
yeah.
very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the likes, the comments. Again, love the comments. Keep them coming in. Subscribe. help us get the word out there. This is episode 30, which is
Nice.
crazy. I know, dirty 30.
Mm.
So yeah, so thank you again for everyone that listens, watches, and we will see you next time.
Don't go out there eating brain. Bye.
Bye.